Hi everyone, and welcome to this tutorial for the University of Amsterdam test system. This is the overview part. It's the first of four videos that we're doing to support the use of the test system during this tender phase. So essentially the tutorial is how to use the test system, and it's recommended that all different roles and users actually watch the four videos. At this point, we've configured three University of Amsterdam roles for the test system. So we have PhD student, and as you can see, they're from Stu 1 through to Stu 6 as usernames. Supervisors, their usernames Sub 1 through to Sub 6, and administrators, Admin 1 through to Admin 6. So each of you will be signed, depending on your role and username, one of those users. Now, point to note is that we're using the University of Greenwich's configuration. They've kindly allowed us to use their configuration for this test. So the configuration of the system reflects what University of Greenwich do for their training plan for their PhD students. And what they do is they do a development needs analysis, which the student undertakes. They could do it with or without the supervisor being involved. And then they'll book a meeting with the supervisor, and that'll be a supervisory meeting. And you'll see that on the system. You'll see the DNA being done on the system, and also then the supervisory meeting being recorded. And during that supervisory meeting, the training needs and the DNA will be discussed at that point. Another point to note is that we've the test system that you'll see. It's currently just in English. We're currently, due to the logistics, in the process of providing a Dutch language option. And so when you use the test system, which is a little bit different to the tutorial at the moment, you will actually be able to toggle between the two country flags to get the language that you want to work in. Now, there are parts that are technically out of scope for the tender that we've not translated on the Dutch language side. And that would be the skills framework itself, which is very, very extensive, and really we'd like to work with the University of Amsterdam, if we're successful in this tender, to actually make sure that the skills framework that's chosen is properly translated. It's unlikely that it will be the research and development framework, which you'll see in the test system. And then the other thing is there's other parts of the system, again, technically out of scope for the tender. Things like within the administration interface, there is user admin, and there's also course admin. Again, technically out of scope, but we thought we'd include that to show you the potential power of the system. And we haven't translated that, again, due to the extensive nature of that translation. So you probably guess that really the test system is a very tiny part. It's less than 1% of the capabilities that SkillsForge offer. We've been doing PhD student management for over 15 years now, and we've built a very substantial holistic system that manages PhD students from admission to award. And the one thing I want to touch on in this overview is just the extent of the system, so you understand where the test system that you'll be using sits within the overall whole. So moving on to the next slide, we call it the Complete PhD and Research and Management Solution. And it starts with PhD admissions, so a prospective PhD can use the SkillsForge admissions module to apply to do a research degree at a particular university. Once the student arrives, degree management and administration takes over. So any change to that degree course is actually managed within this module. So something like a request for extension for, say, the dissertation submission would be done here, and all dates of milestones would automatically recalculate once that extension request has been authorized. And then thesis or dissertation submission, the end-to-end process there. And then early, mid-career and late career researchers are supported from actually the thing you'll be seeing in the test system, which is the skills and training capability. So continual professional development is supported for the early career researchers and later career researchers. And similarly, research supervisors are supported. So in its purest form, a researcher that wants to be a research supervisor can register that they want to be a research supervisor in the system, and then the system will automatically track against eligibility criteria, and once those criteria have been filled, then they will be compliant and be allowed to be assigned to a particular PhD student. As you'd expect, progression monitoring and supervision is supported, and you'll see part of the supervision component, i.e. the one where the meeting is actually held with between the student and the supervisor and recorded. So it'll be a discussion in this case of the development needs analysis that the student's done, and then a recording of that discussion and what was agreed in terms of the training. And then another thing you'll see in the test system is part of the professional skills assessment and the training management system as well. And all of that sits within the ecosystem or the system ecosystem within a university. So we normally integrate two-way with student record systems, and we integrate with virtual learning environments, HR systems, that kind of thing. And that's two-way, so there will be data uploaded from those systems into SkillsForge. And that data uploaded plus all of the data that SkillsForge generates is then made available to our business intelligence reporting capability, where designated users can actually run and create their own reports. So that's it for this overview. We'll stop recording now, and then if you actually watch the next video, which is the PhD student video, that will actually show you how to use the system from a student perspective. Okay, thanks for your attention, and see you in the next video.